Now let's go over to the disappointing team, my disappointing team of the week. And there's part of me that wants to say the Cowboys, but without three of their offensive linemen, Trevon Diggs getting out, I think this is just a mirage. That game is a mirage. It's in the past. It was a disaster, but they're going to learn from it. They're going to get better. They were looking ahead, I think. But my disappointing team was Grant's surprise team was the Washington Commanders. Sam Howell had 4 INTs. We talked about this last week, Grant, you and I, of the Eric Bieniemy, Ken Wisenhunt Sean McDermott matchup. They kind of look alike, so that's why I said Ken Wisenhunt. But Sean McDermott won that one. He got home with the pass rush, forcing Sam Howell to get rid of it before he wanted to. They weren't able to run the ball, and all of a sudden, the Bills look like the old Bills at this moment.
I was gonna go Commanders. I like a Cowboy pick, but I feel like that's just kind of too easy.
Too easy.
But we're going to stay north. We're going the Vikings. I thought this was their worst game so far this year, which says a lot after they lost to Tampa. Probably should have beat the Eagles if JJ doesn't fumble at the goal line. But just altogether, I thought this was probably their worst game. Whether you use the clock management at the end, whether that's on KOC or Kirk. Again, the fumbling issue. Defense can't even catch a ball. Like, you let them score a touchdown off an easy interception. And then to top the cake, Hawkinson drops it, and literally the game-winning play for an interception. So just so many stupid mental mistakes by that team on Sunday. It was, I'd say, easily the worst, maybe even the worst game of KOC's career at Minnesota so far.
Well, guys, even in like the whole game, like Keenan Allen for 14 catches, why are we not double teaming him?
Mm-hmm. It's just mind-boggling.
Flores keeps bringing pressure up the middle, so the Chargers are just like slant. It's like, you got to change it up if it's not working. So that makes total sense, Ethan. And guys, I'm not gonna lie. Last round, I mixed up. I started with I used the Commanders for my disappointing team. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to my surprise team, which should have been last one. But we're gonna be on the winning side here. Houston Texans.
Excellent pick.
Yes.
That makes a little bit more sense. I was very confused by it. Yeah. I was like, why would the Commanders be a surprise team? But you know what? I'm gonna be like the like Russell Wilson's agent, and I'm just gonna let you cook.
So yes, disappointing team. Commanders. Surprise team. Houston Texans. You know, when I look at C.J. Stroud, his third start in the NFL, he looked lost in the preseason. Well, this week he was 20 of 30, 280 yards. That's 9.3 yards an attempt. Their defense, sure they didn't get any sacks, but they only let Jacksonville get 17 points. And without their 2 starting tackles, this many sacks against Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen, 0. I'm not saying Houston's going to win a bunch of games this year, but I think they're going to be a young, up-and-coming team that's going to ruin some people's seasons like Detroit did a couple of years ago. And D'Amico Ryans has that team cooking. People clowned him because there was that report before the draft was CJ wasn't smart enough. He's not the guy. Why do you trade up for Will Anderson Jr. When he's only going to be an 8 sack person kind of guy in this league? Well, he blocked a field goal on Saturday. And of all these rookie quarterbacks, CJ's had the best month by far. It's not even close. So
he's already better than the guy that graduated before him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No kidding. And who he said the Bears shouldn't take him if they still had the first pick because that was his teammate, that was his guy. Well, wrong as of right now. Tank Dell had a big game, and then it was cool seeing the fullback muff the kickoff and take that back to the house. He just didn't give up on the play there. So, yeah, my surprise team. I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans this week.
Good choice. It was a good weekend for the Buckeyes. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But back to you, Ethan. Here, quick. Have they said what the diagnosis of Justin Jefferson was? Because he went down late in that game. Now
it was cramps.
It was just cramps. Oh man,
it looked a lot worse.
Yeah, because I was actually
fearing the worst.
Yeah, I think everybody was. And watching it, I had Red Zone on, and I was kind of it was jumping around, but it shows him down, and it looked like it was a non-contact injury. Luckily, thankfully, it's all it was cramps, and he'll be back this week. It sounds like.
He came
But
back late. He came back
He
later
came
in the
back the
drive.
next play.
oh, did he? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
even see that.
Because then Dylan, the play after that, Hawkinson went down, but then they both came out after that.
Oh,
But then
gotcha.
apparently the Vikings, they had a 5-yard penalty because they were out of timeouts when both Jefferson and Hawkinson got hurt.
So
And
stupid.
This NFL rule, Dylan, I've never heard of until Sunday. Where apparently if you have 2 injuries on like back-to-back plays, they consider that with no timeouts in the last 2 minutes, they consider that your 4th and 5th timeout. So it's a 5-yard penalty.
So
Oh,
stupid.
really? It's not a
Yeah.
it's not a 10-second
Like,
run.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
No.
I was so confused.
And that referee, he said it with his chest out. He was confident as all hell, like he knew what he was talking about. And PA and Bursich were just like, in our 29 years within the NFL or the Vikings media, we've never heard this before.
I
Like
guarantee you that's probably been called less than 5 times in NFL history.
the first.
Oh, it
that's
has to be.
Oh, easily. That's the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
That has to be something that only happens to the Vikings. Dan can add this to his calamity calendar.
That's another
Might
one.
as well. Yeah.
And